You've probably felt it, haven't you? That quiet whisper in the back of your mind, suggesting that as the years tick by, doors start to close. It's not something anyone explicitly tells you, but it's a message that seeps in from everywhere. Culture, media, even subtle social cues. It tells you that youth is currency, and with each passing birthday, your attractiveness somehow diminishes. So, when a younger woman smiles a little longer at you, holds your gaze, or seems to linger in conversation, your first instinct might not be confidence. Instead, it's often a flicker of disbelief, a quiet skepticism that wonders if what you're seeing is truly what it seems. You might immediately assume she's just being polite, simply bored, or perhaps even playing a game. It's a defense mechanism, a way to guard against what feels like an improbable reality, because the cultural narrative has deeply ingrained this idea that age is a barrier. But here's the fascinating truth that often gets missed. Attraction doesn't operate on the same rules as insecurity. Your age might fuel your doubts, but it doesn't necessarily dictate her interests. In fact, it can be quite the opposite. Younger women aren't drawn to older men despite their age. They are often drawn to them precisely because of what age has already built. It's about the depth, the wisdom, the groundedness that comes with years of experience, when it's carried correctly, of course. Think about it. At a certain point in life, many women stop looking for potential, for what a man might become, and start looking for presence. They seek a man who is already fully realized, who knows himself and his place in the world. Men their own age, while often wonderful in many ways, can sometimes still be navigating their own path with a degree of uncertainty. They might hesitate, posture, perform, or unconsciously seek validation, trying to figure out who they are and who they want to be. For a woman who has already outgrown the emotional chaos and drama of her younger years, that kind of uncertain energy can feel, quite frankly, exhausting. She's moved beyond the need for roller coasters. She craves a steady ground. What she truly responds to, what truly captivates her, is groundedness. It's the quiet strength of a man who is comfortable in his own skin, who stands firm without needing to prove anything to anyone. This is a man who knows exactly where he stands, not because he's trying to impress her or anyone else, but because he's lived enough life to shed the need to constantly prove his worth. His confidence is an internal state, not an external performance. Years of life experience fundamentally change how a man speaks, how he listens, and how he reacts to the world around him. These aren't just superficial changes. They are deep, ingrained shifts in character. He learns to pause instead of rushing headlong into things. He takes a moment to consider, to absorb, to respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. This deliberate pace is a sign of maturity and control. You'll notice he doesn't feel the need to compete for attention in a room. He doesn't dominate conversations or try to be the loudest voice. His presence is felt, not demanded, because his worth isn't tied to external validation. He doesn't need to dominate conversations to feel relevant. His contributions are measured, insightful, and come from a place of genuine understanding, not a need to prove his intelligence or importance. That calm authority, that quiet confidence reads as safety. And safety, my dear friends, is deeply attractive to a woman, especially when it isn't forced or performative. It's an inherent sense of security he brings. Another powerful reason why younger women often gravitate toward older men is emotional consistency. It's a quality that becomes increasingly valuable as you navigate the complexities of life and relationships. Many younger men, bless their hearts, sometimes confuse intensity with genuine connection. They might bring a whirlwind of emotions, highs and lows, believing that passion must always be dramatic. This can manifest as a frustrating cycle. They disappear, then reappear, overthink every interaction, and then pull back again. It's a dance that leaves a woman feeling confused and uncertain, constantly questioning where she stands. Older men who have lived through enough chaos in their own lives usually don't play those games. They've learned that true connection is built on clarity and respect, not on manufactured drama or elusive behavior. Their interest is clearer, more direct, and less prone to sudden shifts. You know where you stand with them, and that foundational clarity is incredibly reassuring. And if there's an absence, it's intentional, not manipulative. It's communicated, understood, and never leaves you guessing or feeling like a pawn in a larger game. This respect for your peace of mind is invaluable. That emotional steadiness, that unwavering presence creates trust faster and more profoundly than any amount of charm or superficial allure ever could. Trust is the bedrock of lasting connection. Beyond emotional consistency, purpose plays a significant role. A man who has direction, who is actively building a life that aligns with his values, carries a different kind of weight. He carries a different weight, a gravitas that comes from knowing his path. This isn't about being rigid or inflexible, but about having a clear sense of self and a defined trajectory. He's not chasing fleeting trends or constantly seeking external approval. His motivations come from within, driven by his own convictions and passions, not by what society or others expect of him. His life already has structure, a foundational stability that she feels the moment she's around him. It's a comforting presence, an anchor in a sometimes turbulent world. Now, this doesn't mean he's rigid or boring, quite the opposite. This structure provides a canvas for creativity, for shared adventures, and for a life that feels deeply satisfying. It simply means he's anchored. He knows his values, his boundaries, and his purpose. This internal compass allows him to be present and authentic in every interaction. And women are instinctively drawn to men who feel anchored because it signals stability without control. It's the promise of a secure harbor, not a restrictive cage. It's about feeling safe to be yourself. Now, despite all these incredible advantages, many older men unwittingly sabotage themselves. And it's rarely about how they look. It's almost always about how they frame themselves, how they present their age and experience. The moment you start apologizing for your age, making self-deprecating jokes about being old, or feeling the need to explain why you're still attractive, the natural polarity, that magnetic pull, collapses. You're inadvertently signaling insecurity. Attraction simply doesn't survive self-justification. When you feel the need to justify your existence or your desirability, you undermine the very confidence that draws others to you. True confidence isn't loud pride or arrogance. It's a quiet, deep acceptance of who you are, flaws and all. It's understanding your worth without needing external validation to confirm it. This quiet acceptance, or lack thereof, is also a key reason why dating apps often fail older men looking to meet younger women. The digital world struggles to capture what truly matters. Dating app filters don't measure presence. They can't quantify groundedness, emotional consistency, or purpose. They can only measure numbers and superficial traits. They measure numbers: age, height, income, and a curated set of interests. These are data points, not reflections of a man's true character or the magnetic energy he emits in person. In real life, attraction is a far more organic, visceral process. It happens before logic even has a chance to catch up. It's a feeling, an energy, a spark that ignites in an instant. A woman doesn't calculate your age first. She doesn't pull out a mental spreadsheet and start running numbers. Her initial response is far more intuitive, far more human. She feels your energy first, the way you carry yourself, the warmth in your eyes, the steadiness of your presence. These are the immediate signals that register long before any superficial details come into play. By the time your age even becomes relevant in her mind, a seed of interest has already formed. And genuine interest, my friends, bends rules far more easily than any algorithm ever will. It creates an openness to explore beyond initial assumptions. So when a younger woman asks you your age, please understand, it's rarely a test meant to disqualify you. It's not a trap. It's usually something far more innocent and insightful. It's curiosity. She's reconciling how you feel to her, the presence, the groundedness, the security, with what she assumed she wanted based on the societal norms. She's trying to bridge that gap in her own mind. She's reconciling that magnetic feeling you evoke with the preconceived notions she might have held about age differences. It's an internal recalibration, a moment of personal discovery for her. Men who answer calmly, transparently, without any hint of defensiveness or excessive pride, maintain that attraction. Your quiet confidence in stating your age reinforces all those positive qualities she's already felt. But if you tense up, explain too much, try to soften the number or deflect the question, you subtly weaken that attraction. You inadvertently introduce the very insecurity she was trying to look past. Beyond the age question, there are other subtle mistakes that can quietly kill attraction, often far faster and more effectively than age ever could. These are usually rooted in a lack of self-awareness. For instance, trying to act younger than you are doesn't signal vitality, it signals insecurity. Mimicking slang, trends, or social behaviors that clearly don't fit you creates a jarring dissonance. It creates a dissonance between who you are and who you're trying to be, and that lack of congruence is immediately felt. Authenticity is always more attractive than a forced performance. What truly attracts her isn't some manufactured youthfulness. It's congruence. It's the harmonious alignment of your inner self with your outward presentation. It's being comfortably, confidently you. Bitterness is another silent, yet incredibly potent repellent. Complaining about past relationships or positioning yourself as someone who was wronged suggests unresolved emotional weight. Younger women are especially sensitive to this because they are often trying to move forward in their own lives, building new futures. They're not looking to inherit someone else's unfinished story or carry their past emotional baggage. And leading with money, while it might seem like a shortcut, creates an entirely different and equally damaging problem. Financial stability can certainly amplify attraction, but only when it's secondary to your presence. When money becomes the main signal you're sending, you stop being a man she's intrinsically drawn to and instead become a role she's evaluating. Desire doesn't grow in transactional spaces. It thrives in genuine connection. What actually works, what truly captivates and holds attention, is far simpler yet profoundly powerful. It's about embodying your authentic self with grace and ease. It's a man who is utterly relaxed in his own skin, comfortable with every aspect of his being. This inner peace is magnetic. He's playful without trying too hard to impress, his humor coming naturally from a place of joy, not a need for approval. He knows how to lighten the mood and truly connect. He's genuinely interested in her thoughts, her experiences, her world, without resorting to chasing or desperate tactics. His interest is respectful and authentic. He's completely unbothered by whether he fits a stereotype or conforms to societal expectations. His identity is his own, forged through experience, not dictated by external pressures. He doesn't sell himself. He doesn't need to put on a show or create a marketing pitch. Instead, he allows himself to be experienced, trusting that his true self is enough and that it will resonate with the right person. For many men, their 40s, 50s, and beyond are not a decline, but rather a profound alignment. It's a time when self-knowledge deepens and priorities become crystal clear. They finally know exactly who they are, what they truly value, what they will tolerate, and crucially, what they won't bend for. This self-awareness is an incredible source of strength. And when that self-knowledge is worn lightly, with grace and humility, younger women don't see age as a gap between you. Instead, they see it as depth, a rich tapestry of experiences that makes you uniquely compelling. Attraction isn't about pretending time hasn't passed or trying to recapture a fleeting youth. It's about embodying what time has already refined within you: the wisdom, the calm, the purpose, and the profound groundedness. These are the truly irresistible qualities.